maybe, someone killed it at least, and there was no reaction from Hamas. The reason that there is no reaction from Hamas is because they cannot, because we closed the Rafah border, so they cannot smuggle things from Egypt, and we took control of, we are destroying a lot of their commanders, and we took a lot of them as captives. Yes, there is progress. It takes time. If it would end, if we wanted to do it faster, it would mean just way more casualties. So don't dare. The number of innocent civilians is unknown. We don't know. All the numbers that we get are just like people like making up numbers. I just heard like 2 weeks ago that there's a new number that they're running with, 186,000. Slovan came here with 16,000 children. We don't really care about the number, just using it to stop the war. We want the war to end. Once we have our hostages back and Hamas is removed from the government, it will be all there.
Listen, you said about the Hania yesterday that you killed them. Literally, you killed the Hania, but you don't admit that you killed this guy, right? So that's the problem with you guys. Just because you don't talk about it, you don't say it, doesn't mean you don't do it.
Okay, that is not.
Don't talk about it. I know you're talking about it, but you're doing it. So stop playing that semantic game that, oh, we didn't say that. You literally said to Egyptian, oh, when did we say that we're going to kill the children? No, you don't say that, you're doing it. Like what you did with Hania yesterday.
Yes, you said, why everything you need to say 5 times? You think everybody is an idiot?
I'm saying it to the audience, not to you.
Yes, but also the audience are not idiots. The audience are not idiots, okay? You need to say one thing, you don't need to repeat it 5 times. Enough of that.
Justify, you don't call it terrorism, call it whatever you want.
Let's move on.
Come on, man. Okay, it's not terrorism, whatever you want to call it.
I just want to
mute me, the audience.
He's gonna have a heart attack.
Yeah, you need to understand it's a hard day today for the army and the guys.
I don't understand.
Okay, so anyway, let me just say
you need to understand, sorry, he's grieving.
The mic, because these reports was shared by Meyer earlier today. Oh my God. This report was shared by Meyer earlier today, and it said that it was Mossad, apparently, going after him. And it's because he was being an obstacle to actually release the hostages and bring peace to the Middle East. So much for having called him like the most important, what was it, the most important?
Peace, no, the advocate for ceasefire.
Yeah, for peace in the Middle East and Gaza.
For peace in the Middle East, yes.
Yeah. So there it is. There's that report. You guys can give a look. I was reading it before I came here again. Sorry, Ariella, go ahead.
Thank you so much, Lisa. I'm not addressing anyone directly, so hopefully I'm not interrupted. But I wanted to expand off of Daniel's point earlier. Let's say you are driving a car and you run someone over. When you go in front of a court, right? The judge is either going to give you 6 years or 25 years, just because of your thoughts. So if your intention was to run and kill that person, run over and kill that person, if you planned it, you're going to get 25 years. If you were really exhausted and it was a complete accident, about just the moral code that we've come to really incomparable to say is just really inefficient at killing, but their intention is genocide. Literally, the leader of Hezbollah, Hassan Nasrallah, said that he wants all of the Jewish people in the world to come to Israel, so he has us all in one place and can kill us all in one place and rid the world of Jews.
You keep repeating the same thing, Ariel.
Can you please not interrupt me? It's a tactic.
Not as well.
It's a tactic to try to.
Okay, it doesn't matter. I am following. I think she's explaining it very well.
So it's, you see, they do this on purpose.
You were talking about Hezbollah and Nasrallah bringing all the Jews
So
to Israel to
this
bomb.
this is a war between
Fox News.
Israel. This is a war between Israel, Hamas, Iran, and Hezbollah, right? So now we have three genocidal regimes and two terrorist organizations, both of which are the political leaders of two independent entities, Lebanon and Gaza. Their goal is to genocide the Jews. If Israel wasn't so good at defending its citizens, there would be an actual genocide in Israel. But on the other hand, you have a nation that is going into Gaza with the goal, get our hostages back.
This is your fault, Esau.
The girls that are raping right now in Gaza, the young 18, 19-year-old Jewish girls that were taken out of their beds in their little Snoopy pajamas, we're going to get, the goal of Israel is to go in, get them out, and to destroy the terrorists that orchestrated the largest massacre of the Jewish people since the
You
Holocaust.
fucking shit, you mistake the noise in your head.
Everybody say goodbye to it.
I'm landing my plane. I'm almost.
You've been talking all day, sweetie. So,
You know what?
I'm almost out.
She has spoken exactly, this is the second time. This is the second time. And you are an asshole, and why don't you cover your hair,
He
Mike?
is making a lot of sense. So,
Why don't you show respect and let her finish?
Thank you so much. So the intention is totally different. Israel has an agenda to free our hostages, bring them home, and to end Hamas, and to rectify the mistake that Israel made, which I believe in 2005, of allowing the people of Gaza to elect Hamas in the first place. There should, in my opinion, there should have been more. There should have been more involvement in Israel with the Israeli government and making sure that there was a de-radicalization in the mentality of the population of Gaza, so that a terrorist organization wasn't elected, right?
yeah, okay.
So now we're trying to rectify this. Look what happened in Gaza. Look what happened in Gaza.
You don't want to listen, you can go to the audience.
רגע, אני ממש חיפשתי אותך בשביל להגיד עכשיו.
Hold on.
לא יודע, איך לשאול. שנייה, קצר. אתה אמרת ש... Daniel will translate it to Hebrew because it's a little complicated. דניאל, אתה אמרת שהתכנון...
So we can talk about it tomorrow, okay? It's not relevant now for everybody.
What
It's
is
about
it?
the okay?
Okay.
It's about what?
Okay. So I never thought of it like that, but yeah, the rectifying of the situation I think is actually super important to what Ariel said. The fact that children were being taught, anti-material in UNRWA schools is absolutely insane. The fact that basically, a humanitarian organization allowed and helped promote the brainwashing of children to hate an entire ethnic group of people is insane. And that is something that we need to definitely focus on going forward to prevent this from ever happening again generationally. It's super important. So Ariel, yeah, you made a great point. Thank you.
yeah, but the world doesn't really agree with you. Plural doesn't.
Wait, so is truth determined by the majority?
Teaching in UNWA
I
schools
said
is
the
okay.
world, the global world does not agree with what you're saying. There is a
doesn't agree. Color me stop.
Can you
Yeah,
please
that's
mute?
a
Let's just
logical
be a lady
fallacy.
for today.
No, I'm not going to, because
Just
the
be a
world doesn't
lady
agree with
and
you,
go and
sweetheart.
mute.
I know you think that where you live, they agree.
No.
The rest of the world, the rest of the
Behave
world.
as
Hey,
they do.
please, go ahead and don't pay attention to anyone else.
Okay, hey,
Hello, let's just be late for today, okay?
I just wanted to say one last point. And it's actually one quick last point that I wanted to say is that yeah, I thought about it. I think was it in this room? I think it was this room or another room. Yeah, it was this room. We were talking about how politics is downstream from culture. The thing is that you need to look at the culture first, and like, you know, if you have you
Can you
know,
be specific?
public TV in Palestinian regions showing kids like being militarized and, you know, having a highly militaristic culture where children are being taught to hate Jewish people. I think that is like something that also needs to be rectified. Absolutely. Like, yeah, no culture should just hate another culture blindly or ethnicity blindly. And yeah, no, it makes perfect sense. And I don't understand why you would even like argue with me on that point. I think that makes perfect sense.
I just put an article in the chat that deals with it. So it's pretty involved reading, but it basically talks about the Arab culture and the idea of the honor and shame in that culture and how Jews were
Yeah, we
always
should bring
being.
Shane back.
May I finish speaking, sweetheart?
Finish reading.
So there's an idea of honor and shame, and the idea of a Jewish nation for the dimony to have creates incredible shame for those cultures that always treated Jews as a lower form within those cultures. And in times where there's been some that have let Jews live harmoniously, they've usually had a big blow to them, and it's come back to this honor shame. And within that society, it's a very interesting article on how it looks at why some of that hatred is there and some of that aggression is there and resentment towards the concept that there is even a Jewish state to begin with by their downtrodden. So I thought it's a little esoteric, but it's an interesting take on as we talk about hate.
I just posted it in the Islam channel of the group.
It's really well written, but it explains a lot on how it's just difficult for the Arab culture to accept their downtrodden, have a nation and to rise up and to have more success. It's inbred in that.
Okay, first of all, I just wanted to say shame is good. First of all, shame should be brought back to America because unfortunately,
yeah, we do that in hockey games. We shame them when they're in penalty, right, Harry?
Yeah, but that's perfect. You're right. Yeah, so shame's a good thing.
We choose maybe a spanking or timeout, not stoning to death. I don't know. Maybe you could get with.
Yeah, I'm getting with the times. I'm probably you.
Shame. I am okay with shame. I am not okay with killing.
It's good to have shame.
But yeah, no, shame is definitely good. I don't know if you guys know that, but like, our culture unfortunately became a little bit degenerate. So shame is a good thing, and it needs to be brought back to America.
Culture and where? You said?
American culture.
American culture is degenerate.
Dirty thought.
No, you're not understanding what I'm saying. I'm trying
Saying
to
American culture is shameless.
No, yeah. Unfortunately, maybe 15 years ago, it wasn't like this. But unfortunately,
Kill people.
we have a lot
You
of.
don't think Americans have standards?
I said that American household, right? The average American household is traditional, and unfortunately today we don't have that, and that's why I think shame is a good thing.
Traditional American households right now?
They are, but not the majority. Mainstream American culture. No.
Wait, what is a traditional?
Made up of people who aren't managing their children.
Hey, Please, can you tell us what a traditional household is? An American traditional household? Can you please tell it?
Yes.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? There's a red bar.
We can hear you now, yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. You said what is a traditional American?
Yes.
Yeah, could you explain to us what a traditional American
New
household is?
York, San Francisco, Texas, Nebraska,
Yeah.
Wyoming. Go on.
So a typical American household would be a mother, right, and a father.
No, traditional. What is a traditional?
Sir, can you just go on mute for a second?
She's explaining it. Give her space.
Yeah, just a little bit of control here, okay, Mr. Elon?
A mother and a father, probably some kids. Go on.
Yeah, a little bit of kids. I know usually you don't see kids around that much. Things change.
Where have you been? There's kids everywhere. I'm looking at kids right across my street. I raised 3 myself.
Okay, maybe you live in the south.
I don't know where you live.
Maybe
I don't
you live in the South.
I live in the South.
You're talking about all of America right now.
Yes, I know, Mr.
Get out.
You're baby boomer, Alan. You're talking
No,
about.
wait, baby boomer.
Oh, shit.
Baby boomer. So there's
Talking about young people.
So mom and dad,
Yeah, mom and dad, traditional conservative household. Fortunately, we had, not broken households. We had, the divorce rate was not that high, like 15 years ago. People took marriage seriously. We didn't have degenerate, promiscuous women, right? There's all this sexual promiscuity online, on the internet. You didn't have this shit. So men and women had character and manners, and you had to behave. But the boomers kind of ruined it.
We don't have the same kind of moral.
The boomers kind of ruined it.
I'm one man, one I under God, not 3 wives. See, we don't.
No, I'm American.
Hey, we should all be. You know there are
There's a
lots
lot
of
of jokes
engineers.
about lawyers.
Lawyers
And they probably have a
understand
lot of jokes
about you too. Hey,
so
lawyers
hold
do
on,
have
how about
a deep.
instead of mocking each other, we actually make the most of being together? I mean,
He's so
I
you're
don't know how
killing
many times
the vibe, man.
hold on it. Hold your intention is really to come here to try to get closer to the truth and try to find out and learn something, let's make that. If it's just right,
But you know what's so different is doubt you're gainfully employed. I had a conversation with Egyptian yesterday. We talked about his culture. We talked about what is in Cairo. We talked about places in Egypt. We were able to have an adult conversation. We don't agree on a lot of things, but I was able to have a sensible conversation asking him gainfully employed, and just based on how much time you're on the app, have just like an antagonistic, hostile approach, and no one can have an adult conversation with an immature sophomore.
You were asking
child.
what gays are
So-
yesterday, remember? You were asking.
I had.
It's true,
Did
busted!
we not have a conversation about Cairo? I was asking him questions. It was, we don't agree on everything, but we had an adult conversation. You can't seem to act like an adult, and I feel sorry for
Abby,
you.
it was great
And in fact,
conversation, I confess.
No.
But at the same
Yes.
time, you
You
said
know,
here,
I-
you are criticizing religion, and when she was talking about your society, no one gives me a chance.
You were curious about the gay bar in the
Darkness, and I've had also had very good conversations with
Egyptian, we're not didn't insult each other, we didn't agree on stuff.
Hey, I don't know why you
Well,
think
yes,
I'm
it's a child.
I'm 23.
It's just a child, and it's
Someone's jealous about
Born after 9/11.
You're incredibly naive,
And Soren, yes.
You're incredibly naive.
Soren, sometimes we hear a lot of time together. So even if we disagree with each other, I think that we enjoy each other's company because otherwise we wouldn't be coming to the same place every single time. So how about instead of like trying to get each other's eyes out, you know, just like, I don't know, be a little bit
right, it's 100%.
Also, I just say,
preaching about what a proper family is. And
You justify genocide, Abby. Why would I respect you, a person that justifies genocide?
It's a bit hypocritical.
You justify genocide,
Abby, no, sorry, I'm not with that. Hey, you know why?
You justify genocide,
That
Lisa.
you should respect
Why
You can't even
her,
define
and we all
genocide.
should respect each other. Abby, and it's not Abby. If you want to keep coming and have a good dynamic with everyone in this room, with who you see every day, I would say that it's in your best interest to try to keep those relationships. You can disagree, you can get upset, we all do. We all yell at times, but dude, just try to keep it civil because otherwise people will not want to.
And you're right, in real life, we don't see lawyers. 100% I see lawyers in real life.
Soren is a
Someone
piece of shit.
IDF is impossible to see someone from IDF. Like Daniel is like a rare commodity here because it's literally illegal to talk to IDF currently.
Okay, Harry.
I admire that. Because I don't see many IDF around me. It's illegal to
May I have this?
Wow, okay, so wait. One second, please. One second, so okay, so when you leave the speak to an idea.
Sorry, please, I have a request. Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Abby already inspired me that she and I had a beautiful conversation yesterday. Of course, there was big disagreement, but still there's disagreement. We are from different cultures, different places, so we are all different. My request here, please, no need to curse, no need to show here. No, please, show this.
At some point, I did have more questions about Cairo, and it came up in a room after you left. There were some people from India, and I was curious, and we can talk another time about it and the other religions. And I'd love to follow up on that with you, my own.
It's gonna be an honor. Here I will ask you, please have me back. It's a great honor. And of course, it'll be a pleasure to have a conversation.
Of the farming that happens when farmers plant seeds to have a successful, unless the plant, is off cycle. which is a different conversation. And, you know, that's a long story. But most farmers do their work of renewal and things around the springtime. So everybody, you know, this is when the bears wake up. You know, this is when, you know, things start to change and everybody start hibernating and they're getting their stuff ready and getting them in order, right? So that's spring. Now summertime, because we're in summertime now. So this is not for you to change your agenda. This is just for you to go with the flow of summer. So you don't have to set a new agenda. This is you to just...
Brutal, even worse.
Why do you talk about this topic today, Daniel? Isn't the fact that you were scared of the Muslim retaliation? Be honest, honestly. Why do you talk about this particular topic today?
Well, because it was what it.
We should talk about it. I will tell you, I will tell exactly, Leroy came on stage and he said something and then we started having a conversation. Leroy, why did you raise this topic today? Because of the thing that happened in the UK, okay? There was like an attack.
He was very emotional. He came trauma dumping in the room and then we started talking about that.
We was talking about this guy that was doing this terror attack or whatever. I don't know what happened in the UK. Maybe he can give, and people were saying that he was Muslim and he wasn't Muslim. So he came and he talked about this. He thanked us for spelling it, and this is how the conversation goes. Actually, we didn't choose the topic. Actually, Leroy is the one choosing the topic, and so I don't think it has anything to do with anything going on in Israel right now. So it didn't work out for it now.
Right, because I was
Don't shift you, Leroy's.
I was trying to point out that when we make blanket statements about religion and saying all, that stuff spreads all over the world.
But no one is saying, even now I emphasize,
I know.
and I even gave the example of the dog and the animal, and I'm not saying that all, but we have a problem with one specific religion. Not all of them, not all the people that subscribe to that religion, but if we look at the terrorist attacks that are happening in a name of a religion, it's just Islam. I don't see terror attacks done in the name of Christianity, or in the name of Buddhism, or in the name of Judaism.
Children and women in the mosque in New Zealand, Christchurch, you can actually search it now. He killed in the name of Christianity. They actually put the Bible verse. So stop telling me our cases, people kill each other in the
Right, okay,
he
fine.
actually really
Fine.
looked at my
99, okay, fine.
Stephanie, if you ruin Mr. Walton's lovely cake. Edward, you have to get married today.
Eternal companion, help us pour out our hearts to you honestly and sincerely. With these prayers as our guide, help us to feel close to you, dear God. Life makes warriors of us all. To emerge the victors, we must arm ourselves with the most potent of weapons. That weapon is prayer. Actions, no place too far for us. Tell me this, is there some secluded spot in the vicinity where I can go to pray? Reb Nachman asked. He had just arrived in Breslov, the town whose name the Breslov movement has borne ever since. I know the place that would be most suitable, the Chassid replied, but it's quite far from here. Father, Rebbe exclaimed, what do you mean by far? Far from the mind or from the heart? Reb Nachman later taught, when your heart yearns, distance is no obstacle. And praise my God, I work and I strive, never knowing if I will succeed. You and only you can give hope to my dreams. With your help I am spared wasted efforts. With your blessing all hardship I endure can bear fruit. You and only you are the key to success in all that I do. Courage to grow, Almighty God, source of all the energy of life. Without you, I am helpless. Give me the courage, the physical drive, the emotional energy, and the spiritual will to risk in order to grow, to welcome every challenge as my life unfolds. Full life. O life of the world, grant me a full life, a life which may be considered long because it has been filled with right living, and considered rich because it has been filled with holy acts. Making ends meet, source of all sustenance, sustain me. Nowadays, I even living simply, working only to acquire life's most basic necessities, demands so much. In the black, help me see my way out of this monstrous tangle of debts. The inevitable outlay for my children's needs, those overwhelming expenses and bills, those inescapable medical expenditures, but most of all, dear God, help me keep my account with you in the black. Body and soul, Holy One, grant me the strength to cast off the spiritual sluggishness and indifference which encumber my body. Let my body together with my soul soar ever closer to you. Teaching by being, dear God, teach me to embody those ideals I would want my children to learn from me. Let me communicate with my children wisely in ways that will draw their hearts to kindness, to decency, and to true wisdom, dear God. Let me pass on to my children only the good. Let them find in me the values and behavior I hope to see in them. Wholeness and well-being, God of wholeness, God of healing. Envelop us with wholeness and well-being. Heal us in body and soul. Let all the elements of our bodies work together in perfect symmetry and in peaceful harmony. Remove every trace of illness, every hint of infirmity. Send healing which you alone can bring. Sincerity, O you who are infinitely deep, yet also profoundly simple. Help me walk this simple path. Free me from any facade of sophistication, which will only hinder my endless quest to come closer to you. Help me live my life with faith, with sincerity, and with perfect simplicity. Giving, my God, help me become a giver. Help me give, go on giving. You've called on us to be charitable. Show me how. Show me how to give with a pure heart, with an open heart, with a heart filled with joy. Let me lead me to those who are truly deserving, for giving is so holy an act. Help me find the truly needy and help them find me. True nourishment, dear God, teach me to eat right and to eat for the right reasons. Keep me from eating the wrong foods and from eating more than I should. Let all that I eat nourish me, never weaken or harm me. Let the food I ingest create a perfect balance within me, in my body, mind, and soul. Gaining perspective. Dear God, I need your guidance. Bring perspective to my life. For the meaningless allures of this world control me. Let me see beyond the coarse requirements of my daily subsistence. Let me bask in that which is truly precious in the beauty of my relationship with you, dear God. Working to live, though I have no choice but to work to support myself and those who depend on me. Let my job never dominate my life and psyche. Let me never be so caught up in the pursuit of my livelihood that I stoop to dishonesty in order to get ahead. Let me make no transaction without recognizing that any measure of success I might find, I can come only from you. Oh God, see my pain, see the constant tension and anxiety with which I must function, with which I don't function. Touch my life with your love and your strength. With your wisdom I have more than I can bear alone. Troubles, kind, loving, mighty God, stretch out your hand to strengthen me. Lift me up from my abyss, right my wrongs, turn my every failure into success. Look upon all my troubles and say enough. Priorities, oh God, help me fix within my mind the enduring truths of life. Let my every action be directed towards life's ultimate goals. For how can I face you, my Creator, without having invested all my days in preparation for that moment when I will meet you? How can I face you, source of my life, so long as I remain naked and barren, mired in the fantasies, the form, the substance of life's illusions? Living to the fullest as I age, as hours turn to days. Days to weeks, and weeks to months, and months to years. Let none of my time be wasted or lost. Let me use my life to the fullest to become the person I am meant to be. In thanks, dear God, all the good I can do in this world will never match all the good you've done for me. All my acts of kindness will never equal all the kindness you've shown me. Even all the gratitude I can muster will never suffice to express my appreciation and thanks to you, my God. Words, Reb Nachman's mantra. I want to pray, to tell God everything I'm going through, and to ask for help. Hasid explained to Reb Nachman. When I'm finally alone and trying to pray, the words don't come. Then Rebbe assured him, even just calling out to God, Ribbono Shel Olam, again and again is extremely beneficial. Once when informed that someone was able to recite 1,000 pages of Talmud, Reb Nosson responded, yes, that is impressive, yet there are those of the Rebbe's followers who can repeat the phrase Ribbono Shel Olam 1,000 times. Praise, Master of the universe, you listen to the anguished cries and desperate walls of every one of your beloved children. You hear my incoherent cries. You comprehend my jumbled words. I try my best to reach you with my inadequate prayers. I call out to you and you understand. Prayer, God of life, help me pray with all the force I can muster. If only I could invest all my energy into each word, even into every letter of my prayers. I know that it would give me renewed strength, renewed spirit. Prayer to the Almighty is my life, says the psalmist. Please help me pray. Crying out to God, oh, how I want to cry out to you, God of strength, to cry undistracted. And with a pure heart, help me pray with all my strength to raise my voice in resounding supplication until my own prayers strike my mind like thunderclaps and refine me in the most recesses of my heart. One true word, O dear God, for once let me call out to you with one true prayer. Let me think one pure thought, cry, one genuine cry, pray one absolutely sincere prayer. To you, dear God, prayer for healing. God of wholeness, God of healing, hear our words, accept our prayers, send a special blessing of healing to my son or my daughter, or my mother or my father, among all those of your children who are in need of your healing blessing. Openness, dear God, I want to open myself to you wholly, perfectly, and sincerely. I want to tell you about my doubts, my certainties, my weaknesses, my strengths, my failures, my successes. Breaking down the barriers, God, I want to break down every barrier that separates me from you. I want to lay out before you the parts of myself I'd love, and the parts I despise, the parts of myself that are healthy, and the parts that need healing. Parts I feel secure enough to speak of, and the insecurities I haven't the courage to share. Crying and sighing, the years have brought more pain than ever I imagined possible. When I cry, loving God, let me cry only to you. When I sigh, let that sigh be a pure, honest expression of a soul yearning for your light. Crying and sighing, let my cries and sighs heal me and restore me and bring me to joy. We never again succumb to bitterness or depressing thoughts of God. Show me life's meaning. Effective words, God of wisdom, teach me the right words. Teach me the very words that will touch the hearts and souls of others. When a friend needs my understanding ear, teach me the words to say that will strengthen, that will encourage, that will express only my love and concern. Effective silence, God of wisdom, teach me to relate to others with words they need to hear, with words that will never misguide. Teach me, dear God, that often the most effective words are no words at all. Teach me how and when to communicate with that most potent gift of silence. Sensitive speech, God of understanding, guide me, for my own words sometimes baffle me. When I relate to those around me insensitively, when I hurt, embarrass, or insult them, when I speak with a callousness that causes pain, when I lose myself in my own ego, God, pull me back to reality. Let others understand that I too am in pain, and let them be forgiving. Harmful words, oh God, help me avoid every abusive speech. Let no untrue word escape my lips. I pray that I never speak badly of others or speak empty words of flattery. Help me stay away from profanity. Teach me, dear God, when to keep silent and when to speak. And when I speak, oh God, you save me from using your wonderful gift of speech to humiliate or hurt anyone. Lies, ruler of the world, grant me truth. Spare me from the lies of others. Help me stop myself from lying to others. Save me from lying to myself and spare me from the lies of my own illusions. Oh God, never let me live a lie, even for only a moment. Holy sounds, oh God, your creation resonates with holy sounds. Let me hear them all. Let them penetrate my heart and rouse my senses. The jangle of a charity box, the voice of a faithful teacher, even the intonation of my own sigh when I cry out to you, all these sounds are holy. Oh God, let my heart hear them and all be uplifted.
I like it. It's mine. The prices blow my mind. I feel so rich. I feel like a billionaire. I'm shopping like a billionaire. I'm shopping like a billionaire. I'm shopping like a billionaire. I get it straight from Jamaica. I'm shopping like a billionaire. Download the Temu app and shop like a billionaire.
Man, I should have listened to Joe next door about that Newsbreak app. Just yesterday, we had a twister ripped through here. Everyone else was prepped. But it's tied down, all thanks to the alert of Newsbreak. Esso's kayak ended up in a tree. Yeah, only mine. So here is me heating crowd. This Newsbreak. Look, we've all got busy lives. And Newsbreak, it's like that in-the-know neighbor who's got the scoop on weather alerts, the lowdown on traffic, and even the 411 on local crime. Straight to your phone. Tap that link, download Newsbreak, and let's keep it together, folks.
God, ever my only support. You taught me to pray, to sigh, to cry, to awaken true, meaningful words from deep within, words that strengthen, words that ease my pain and heal my wounds, words that dispel darkness. Thank you, God, for opening my lips, for teaching me to seek you through prayer. Feelings. Praying for what you need, Reb Nachman taught. When it comes to praying for what you need, there is nothing too insignificant to asking God. Happened to mention to Reb Nachman some minor convenience that he was lacking. There's God to give it to you, the Reb advised him. I was completely astounded when Nosson relates. He would never have considered turning to God for something so trivial, which in any case I could have managed without. Noting my surprise, the Reb added, "Tell me, is it beneath your dignity to pray for something so minor? No matter what you need, the best thing you can do is pray for it. And praise, dear God of compassion. Your mercies are we always at look at my life. With each breath I take, only you can love me so completely, so unconditionally, so profoundly. If people care for me, it is because you care for me. If any of my words find their way into the hearts of others, it is nothing more than a reflection of your all-encompassing presence in my life. Compassion-loving God, you who are full of compassion, teach me to be like you. Teach me to be kind and generous and loving, just as you are kind and generous and loving to all your creations. Please help me develop true sensitivity and genuine compassion toward everything in creation. Joy, God, I stand between and battered by the countless manifestations of my own inadequacies. Yet we must live with joy, overcome despair, seek, pursue, and find every inkling of goodness, every positive process, and so discover true joy. Aid me in this quest, O God. Help me find satisfaction and a deep, abiding pleasure in all that I have, in all that I do, in all that I am. Positive attitude. Merciful God, let me experience your mercy. Save me from pessimism, from bitterness, and from cynicism. Help me overcome my negative feelings. Help me avoid every form of arrogance, every hint of greed. Loving protection. Loving God, protect me with your love. Prevent others from viewing me with hostility. Never allow the negativity of others to influence my life or affect my destiny. Seeing the good, oh good, it is oh so simple to find the evil, the ugly, the bad. Help me learn to discount all that is negative in the other. Show me the goodness, the beauty, the kindness in everyone I meet. Power of love. Teach me to search for the fine qualities in others, to recognize their immeasurable worth. Teach me to cultivate a love for all your children. No one is without redeeming value. Let the good in me connect with the good in others until all the world is transformed through the compelling power of love. Soulmate, O loving God, so many in your world live without true love. So many cannot find their soulmate. Have mercy on them, O source of all love. Let every lonely and incomplete soul know the wholeness of being that comes when one finds one's true love. Living in love, God of mercy, God of love. It is sometimes difficult, so painfully difficult, to sustain a harmonious home life, to maintain a marriage based on true friendship and love. Let never a hint of argument, frustration, or suspicion cloud our relationship. We needed an extra measure of compassion. The golden sayings of Epictetus. Are these the only works of providence in us? What words suffice to praise or set them forth? Had we but understanding, should we ever cease hymning and blessing the divine power, both openly and in secret, and telling of his gracious gifts? Whether doing or plowing or eating, should we not sing the hymn to God? Great is God, for that he hath instruments to till the ground withal. Great is God, for that he hath given us hands in the power of swallowing and digesting, of unconsciously growing and breathing while we sleep. Thus should we ever have sung, yea, and this, the grandest and divinest hymn of all. Great is God, for that he hath given us a mind to apprehend these things and duly to use them. What then? Seeing that most of you are blinded, should there not be some one to fill this place and sing the hymn to God on behalf of all men? What else can I, that am old and lame, do but sing to God? Were I a nightingale, I should do after the manner of a nightingale. Were I a swan, I should do after the manner of a swan. But now, since I am a reasonable being, I must sing to God. That is my work, I do it, nor will I desert this my post, as long as it is granted me to hold it. And upon you, too, I call to join in this self-same hymn. How then do men act? As though one returning to his country who had sojourned for the night in a fair inn should be so captivated thereby as to take up his abode there. Friend, thou hast forgotten thine intention. This was not thy destination, but only lay on the way thither. Nay, but it is a proper place, and how many more of the sort there be, only to pass through upon thy way. Thy purpose was to return to thy country, to relieve the kinsman's fears for thee, thyself to discharge the duties of a citizen, to marry a wife, to beget offspring, and to fill the appointed round of office. Thou didst not come to choose out what places are most pleasant, but rather to return to that wherein thou wast born and where thou wert appointed to be a citizen. Try to enjoy the great festival of life with other men. But I have one whom I must please, to whom I must be subject, whom I must obey, God, and those who come next to him. He hath entrusted me with myself, he hath made my will subject to myself alone, and given me rules for the right use thereof. Rufus used to say, if you have leisure to praise me, what I say is not. In truth, he spoke in such wise that each of us who sat there thought that someone had accused him to Rufus, so surely did he lay his finger on the very deeds we did. so surely display the faults of each before his very eyes. But what saith God? Had it been possible, Epictetus, I would have made both that body of thine and thy possessions free and unimpeded, but as it is, be not deceived. It is not thine own, it is but finely tempered clay, since then this I could not do. I have given thee a portion of myself and the power of desiring, declining, and pursuing, and avoiding. In a word, the power of dealing with the things of sense. And if thou neglect not this, but place all that thou hast therein, thou shalt never be let or hindered, thou shalt never lament, thou shalt not blame or flatter any. What then seemeth this to thee a little thing? God forbid. Be content then therewith, and so I pray the gods. What saith Antisthenes? Hast thou never heard? It is a kingly thing, O Cyrus, to do well and to be evil spoken of. Ay, but to debase myself thus were unworthy of me. That said, Epictetus, is for you to consider, not for me. You know yourself what you are worth in your own eyes, and at what price you will sell yourself, for men sell themselves at various prices. This was why, when Florus was deliberating whether he should appear at Nero's shows, taking part in the performance himself, Agrippinus replied, appear by all means. And when Florus inquired, but why do not you appear? He answered, because I do not even consider the question. For the man who has once stooped to consider such questions and reckon up the value of external things is not far from forgetting what manner of man he is. Why, what is it that you ask me? Is death preferable or life? I reply life. Pain or pleasure? I reply pleasure. Well, but if I do not act, I shall lose my head. Then go and act, but for my part I will not act. Why? Because you think yourself but one among the many threads which make up the texture of the doublet. You should aim at being like men in general, just as your thread has no ambition either to be anything distinguished compared with the other threads. But I desire to be the pebble, that small and shining part, which makes the rest seem fair and beautiful. Why then do you bid me become even as the multitude? Then were I no longer the purple. If a man could be thoroughly penetrated as he ought with this thought that we are all in an especial manner sprung from God, and that God is the Father of men as well as of gods, full surely he would never conceive aught ignoble or base of himself, whereas if Caesar were to adopt you, your haughty looks would be intolerable. Will you not be elated at knowing that you are the Son of God? Now, however, it is not so with us, but seeing that in our birth these two things are commingled, the body which we share with the animals, and the reason and thought which we share with the gods. Many decline towards this unhappy kinship with the dead, few rise to the blessed kinship with the divine. Since then every one must deal with each thing according to the view which he forms about it. Those few who hold that they are born for fidelity, modesty, and unerring sureness in dealing with the things of sense, never conceive aught base or ignoble of themselves, but the multitude the contrary. Why, what am I, a wretched human creature with this miserable flesh of mine? Miserable indeed, but you have something better than the paltry flesh of yours. Why then cling to the one and neglect the other? Thou art but a poor soul laden with a lifeless body. The other day I had an iron lamp placed beside my household gods. I heard a noise at the door, and hastening down found my lamp carried off. I reflected that the culprit was in no very strange case. Tomorrow, my friend, I said, you will find an earthenware lamp, for a man can only lose what he has. The reason why I lost my lamp was that the thief was superior to me in vigilance. He paid, however, this price for the lamp, that in exchange for it he hastened to become a thief, in exchange for it to become faithless. If we were as intent upon our own business as the old fellows at Rome are upon what interests them, We two might perhaps accomplish something. I know a man older than I am, now superintendent of the corn market at Rome. And I remember when he passed through this place on his way back from exile, what an account he gave me of his former life, declaring that for future, once home again, his only care should be to pass his remaining years in quiet and tranquility. For how few years have I laughed, he cried. That, I said, you will not do. But the moment the scent of Rome is in your nostrils, you will forget it all, and if you can but gain admission to court, you will be glad enough to elbow your way in, and thank God for it. Epictetus, he replied, if you ever find me setting as much as 1 foot within the court, think what you will of me. Well, as it was, what did he do ere ever he entered the city? He was met by a dispatch from the emperor. He took it and forgot the whole of his resolutions. From that moment he has been piling one thing upon another. I should like to be beside him, to remind him of what he said when passing this way, and to add how much better a prophet I am than you. What then? Do I say man is not made for an active life? Far from it, but there is a great difference between other men's occupations and ours. A glance at theirs will make it clear to you. All day long they do nothing but calculate, contrive, consult how to wring their profit out of foodstuffs, farm plots, and the like, whereas I entreat you to learn what the administration of the world is, and what place it being endowed with reason holds therein, to consider what you are yourself, and wherein your good and evil consists. A man asked me to write to Rome on his behalf, who, as most people thought, had met with misfortune, for having been before wealthy and distinguished, he had afterwards lost all and was living here. So I wrote about him in a humble style. He, however, on reading the letter, returned it to me with the words, I asked for your help, not for your pity. No evil has happened unto me. True instruction is this, to learn to wish that each thing should come to pass as it does. And how does it come to pass? As the disposer has disposed it, now he has disposed that there should be summer and winter, plenty and dearth, and vice and virtue, and all such opposites for the harmony of the whole. Have this thought ever present with thee, when thou losest any outward thing, what thou gainest in its stead, and if this be the more precious, say not, I have suffered loss. Concerning the gods, there are who deny the very existence of the Godhead. Others say that it exists, but neither bestows nor concerns itself, nor has forethought for anything. Third party attribute to it existence and forethought, but only for great and heavenly matters, not for anything that is on earth. A fourth party admit things on earth as well as in heaven, but only in general, and not with respect to each individual. A fifth of whom were Ulysses and Socrates, are those that cry, I move not without thy knowledge. Considering all these things, the good and true man submits his judgment to him that administers the universe, even as good citizens, to the law of the state. And he that is being instructed should come thus minded, how may I in all things follow the gods? And how may I satisfied with the divine administration? And how may I become free? For he is free, for whom all things come to pass, according to his will, and whom none can hinder. What then is freedom? Madness? God forbid, for madness and freedom exist not together. I wish all that I desire to come to pass, and in the manner that I desire. You are mad, you are beside yourself. Know you not that freedom is a glorious thing and of great worth? But that what I desired at random, I should wish at random to come to pass, so far from being noble, may well be exceeding base. You must know that it is no easy thing for a principle to become a man's own, unless each day he maintained it and hear it maintained, as well as work it out in life. You are impatient and hard to please. If alone you call it solitude, if in the company of men you dub them conspirators and thieves, and find fault with your very parents, children, brothers, and neighbors, whereas when by yourself you should have called it tranquility and freedom, and herein deemed yourself like unto the gods. And when in the company of the many you should not have called it a wearisome crowd and tumult, but an assembly and a tribunal, and thus accepted all with contentment. What then is the chastisement of those who accept it? Not to be as they are. Is any discontented with being alone? Let him be in solitude. Is any discontented with his parents? Let him be a bad son and lament. Is he discontented with his children? Let him be a bad father, throw him into prison. What prison? Where he is already, for he is there against his will. And wherever a man is against his will, there to him is a prison. Now Socrates was not in prison, since he was there with his own consent. Knowing thou what a speck thou art in comparison with the universe, that is, with
Then when Obama came to the White House and he started deploying the United States Army, he left the country open to Iran to take
Ready to pair. Pair.
If we would have had a Republican president again after Bush Jr., we would not have that situation in Iraq. And by leaving Iraq open to Iran to do whatever they want there, it empowered Iran, it ruined Iraq. It has authority, which is the national guards in Iran. They have control over most of the south of Iraq. We start seeing militias after the 2007. We start seeing militia being in Iraq, like militia ended up in the militia Geopolitical. All these militias, they started the second that United States started pulling the army. So whatever job that United States tried to do there, it wasn't done.
Powering on.
Whose fault is the lack of the strategy by U.S.?
Yeah, so Obama.
It doesn't matter. Obama.
Ready to pair. Paired.
It's not lack of the strategy by U.S.
It's not the same shit, because it's the same shit that Biden did when he took the army out of Afghanistan, wasted over $900 billion of equipment, and hundreds of and thousands of United States Army. He wasted their lives and their sacrifice.
Decision was made by President Trump.
No, it was done by Biden. It was done by Biden.
Decision was made by President Trump.
It was not supposed to be done like that. Trump was supposed to be like by steps, and they will take everything out. And Biden decided to end it.
Ready to pair.
Yeah.
You can say the way that the Biden did it was wrong. You can say
Thank
that.
you so
But
much.
the decision was made by Doha.
It was, and the same. Hold on a minute. Meyer is trying to explain it to you, Soren.
Powering off.
So if the decision was made step by step based on
Powering
certain things
on.
and based on
Ready
being
to
able to
pair.
give over control of the Taliban will all come back,
Paired.
that was the decision made by Trump. Biden decided to immature and get out before September 11th, which was a very strange day for him to do. And he did a lot of lopsided, haphazard, and left billions of dollars worth of equipment. So the onus is squarely and completely on Biden. But I noticed how you jumped away from saying how it was a mistake to invade to saying that it's still America's
Would it make any difference?
Ready to pair.
How in Afghanistan?
So you're admitting now that the mistake was to leave.
Powering
Well,
off.
if you want to say it's still America, because America voted in Obama, that's true. But the mistake was to leave. You admitted to mom that the mistake
Powering
was
on.
then.
Ready to pair.
No, that's not what I said. I said Trump made a decision to leave. Yes, there was a mistake on how to leave Afghanistan for sure, particularly the way it was fair to Marines were killed. I get that, but still, even if they followed the step outlined by Secretary Pompeo in Doha, still Taliban would have gone back to Kabul. That's the problem, because you don't know the culture.
Powering on.
Never-ending dialogues are not the best.
Powering on.
the culture of
Ready to pair. Paired.
This is not for Kashmir. Why don't we talk about Kashmir and Pakistan? We don't have to be speaking about Islam.
Why don't you go and leave it here? One go to Shiva.
Yeah. So, the only thing is Pakistanis and Indians are the same people, right? The same blood, the same people, the same food, the same culture. What differentiates us? Why is Pakistan going to hell, but India not? It's because of Islam. Pakistan is pure Islamic. That is only different. They are our brothers. I mean, I miss those people. They're loving, kind people. Can you please shut up?
Powering on.
Alright, so they are good people. They're good-hearted people. Afghani people are good people, right? But Islam has destroyed that country, right? The way they look at women, the way they look at children, the way they look at war and destruction. So my point is, wherever Islam, Surin was talking about what happened to Iraq because of America. America has not into many countries. They've gone to Korea. Look at Korea today. They've bombed Japan. Look at Japan today. Right? America has done a lot of harm in many countries, but those countries are back on their feet. But Muslim countries have an excuse always. That somebody was ruling it, somebody destroyed us, and we cannot come back. Right? Iraq has the same excuse. Pakistan has the same excuse. Afghanistan, Syria, you name it. This is Islam. The whole if you get the point that the entire problem
Hang on a second. The Muslims were good in Afghanistan. They were fighting with Russia, by the way. There were good Muslims fighting with the Russians. So stop playing that good Muslim.
No, the problem is Muslims can easily be used to fight anybody. You can use them to fight your enemy. Which is what people do.
With the Soviet Union and Russia, probably nobody can board them. But now they're a bad Muslim because they're fighting with America. Come on, great. It's the same thing.
Civilization you guys are forging.
So my point is, Muslims want to fight jihad, and anybody and everybody can use them for the sake of jihad, not knowing what harm it will do to them. And there's a blowback, and America had the blowback after 9/11. So anyway, the point is, the whole problem in the Middle East is not related to geopolitics or politics or Israel taking away some land. It is related to Islam. The moment you understand this basic fact, the whole world will start making sense.
What's up with Indonesia, for example? The most populated Muslim world. What's the issue in Malaysia? What's the issue in Malaysia? There's no issue.
That's because of sensible people in Malaysia.
No, the most.
Well, they're sensible. I didn't say they weren't Muslim. I said they're sensible.
No, but this Jiva is saying that the problem is.
Well, it is. But just because you have a good area doesn't mean you're not going to have bad areas. The fundamental aspects of Islam.
Look at Philippines. Philippines has Abu Musaf or something like that, one of the deadliest terrorist organizations in the Asia Pacific is in the Philippines. It's an Islamic jihadist organization. There's an island in Indonesia, right next to Sumatra, I guess. That island has a whole bunch of terrorists. There was bomb blasts in Bali, in Indonesia. Don't you know this? Hindus were killed in a bomb blast. Bali is a Hindu island in Indonesia. And they're always under threat from the Muslims in Indonesia. We all know this.
I go to Bali every single month. Stop laughing.
Yeah, they have security guards on every temple in Bali. Okay, sponsored by the Indian government.
Backyard. Stop lying.
Right. So that's number one.
Shiva. Sorry, are you blowing up places in Bali?
Oh my guys. Oh, Mayor. It'd be a better talking point.
Soren, you should have a better response than you.
Maybe you should come to Iran and do a nose job there. How's that sound?
That's a good deal. If I came to Iran, it would only be to put another bomb in someone else's country.
Iran is the capital of nose.
I might go to Iran.
So you're a terrorist, Mayor? That's what you're saying? Are you terrorist, Mayor? That's what you're confessing?
No, I kill terrorists.
He's supporting the terrorists.
So you're a terrorist. Yeah, okay. That's good.
Well, killing terrorists is not terrorism.
You can't kill.
That's not.
You're gonna let us know where the good drugstores
He's
are.
a genocide enabler.
Yes, one terrorist to plant a bomb in the next terrorist that they.
But you can search that Iran. Did you know that the foreigners start coming to Iran for nose job? And I'm not. You can.
No one cares about nose
Honestly,
On another note.
Are you short, Soren? You sound really.
Well, it's the internet.
How are you?
Capital of the nose job in the world. Many Jews actually go to Iran, believe it or not, for the nose job.
They need a affordable nose job.
Honestly, I'm not
Everybody say goodbye to Isa.
No.
He's,
On another note, Abby.
They need affordable noise job.
Abby.
Is it something that I said?
I'm coming to Philly for a week.
When?
Tomorrow.
Oh, sure, I'm not there.
Get a room, guys.
I'll be there in 2 weeks.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, but I'll give you like some great stuff to do there.
So, question to the
Yeah.
room.
All right, we'll talk. No,
First?
yeah, first.
when are we going to liberate Palestine? When are we going to liberate Palestine?
Wait, isn't there a song? Isn't there a song there somewhere? Palestina.
When they've actually been enlightened and are willing to compromise on Islam.
Can we talk about how that bomb went off? It was, that bomb was that bomb in the case that was built into that house? Yeah, Daniel.
One second. No, Simon was trying to, like, Simon has a very soft voice. So,
You're good.
I'm trying, yeah.
Yeah, I said we're going to allow Palestine to be free when they're willing to compromise on their religion and accept Western values. Well, then, you know, it's not.
We don't need the luck. We don't need the luck. They need the luck.
It's not up to me. It's just the Palestinians that are.
Great, Simon. I accept it under one condition. I have a question for you. When will you guys start to accept Western values? For example, I'm going to give you, for example, killing journalists is not okay, raping prisoners is not okay, torturing prisoners is not
Really not okay, right? So why do the Palestinians have this need?
not Palestinians.
Really women and torture them and push them. Tell me why Gazans have the need to come across.
Because that's
we know the reason. We know the reason.
because that's what Muhammad did when he went to the Jewish people.
So I'm
That's
gonna
cool.
answer
That's cool
your
for you
question.
guys, because that's
No, that's not cool. I'm gonna answer the question, Abby.
I will try to answer your question, John. Okay, so there were allegations of, hold on, so there were allegations of rape from both sides, okay? One side immediately, like, you know, what happened, the story that everybody's talking about is that one Nukhba terrorist complained in the Israeli prisoner, in the Israeli prison that he was sexually abused. He filed a complaint. Well, let me speak, that is not true. Let me speak, okay? Let me get correct. He made a complaint. Soren, shut up. Soren, shut up. Yes, Soren, I really had enough, Soren. If you want to participate, you can participate. But all those like half words that you're saying, you like, don't care what you want to say. I'm speaking right now, and I'm answering important question. So mute. That made a complaint in Israel about being sexually molested. Okay. Then we immediately, first of all, investigate. Okay. And this is what is happening right now: an investigation. What I heard also from this investigation that he was also smuggling a phone through his rectum. So this is still ongoing. Okay. It just kind of blew up yesterday. Can you tell me? The process or the progress of the investigations in Palestine, in Gaza, regarding the allegations of rape on their side. The problem that we're speaking here, my friend, is not, and I said it before, not that things happen, is how the society reacts to those things. Do they prosecute them or do they call them heroes? Do they name streets after them? Like, what exactly is the society reacting to those actions? For example, when we had a terrorist in Israel, Baruch Goldstein, I know his name because we had one, he went and shot, I think, like 40 Arabs that were praying. He was, like, he's regarded as a terrorist in Israel. No one is teaching about him in school. We didn't name anything after him. We don't have, like, I don't know, shrines. Like, that is the way the society acts. Regarding children that you said, I don't know if you said like women or children or innocent or whatever, this is unfortunate, but you need to understand that this is a lot to do with propaganda as well. The more civilians are reported dead in Gaza, Hamas benefits twice. They are, this is the way that they're trying to stop the IDF. The more people are reported dead, the more support the Palestinian cause has, as the more the IDF is being defended. So you need to understand who has the interest for civilians to be harmed, which is not Israel.
My answer to you, wait, Abby, I will respond to Daniel, then you can talk to me. No, first I want to
It's very common for the men to have sex in prisons with each other, and then they have shame about it, and they try to hide it. And
Oh,
that's
you're
one.
so disgusting right now. I'm gonna
You
respond
think
to
it's
that.
disgusting?
No, you're being disgusting
I'm
right
being
now. I
disgusting
think.
that men have sex with each other in prisons. You think that
Can
that's
you?
not
I
a
don't want
reality?
to talk about it.
Do you like think that that's not a reality, or is it like if you spend time in prison so you know better?
No,
Like,
thank you. Thank you. I
So
would
you're
like to
welcome. The
respond
guy
to
stuck
that.
his cell phone up his ass and he caused himself rectal damage, and that's what happened.
I would like to respond.
And then he
to that.
probably had some fun with the other prisoners, and he
I
had
would
rectal
like to
damage.
respond to Daniel. What you're doing is very bad. But anyways, so Daniel, I would say to you that I completely agree to the fact that in every single society, bad things happen, and the key point or the critical vocal point is that how societies react. That's a perfect point. I like it. By the way, my suggestion would you that you become a spokesperson of the Israeli government because you're so good in propaganda. I mean, convincing. But I'm gonna also tell you this. So, what would you say about the society that hundreds of people literally attack the prison to free those who are accused of brutally raping a prisoner because they are far right and they think that Jewish people are supremacists and they have higher ground, and they were shouting that Jews should not be in jail regardless, so they were justifying rape. There was even a fucking meeting of government officials asking the question.
How do you know
is
this?
it really?
How do you know this?
I saw the video.
What video
There
did you
was
see? Who produced the video?
Hold on.
Where'd you read it? What news
Let me
source?
answer. Hold on, I will answer.
Where's your sources, Rita?
I have answered for you. I think that, first of all, I saw everything that you're talking about, and it wasn't about Jewish supremacy, so this is maybe a wrong translation. I don't know who translated it. They were talking about the IDF, not Jewish supremacy. Now, I think what you're missing is a little bit of context. And I think this is the problem of many people that are kind of going into this topic. They don't know enough, or they take things out of context of time, place, and information. So, you probably know that prior to 7th of October, Israel was in a turmoil. There was a lot of demonstrations because there was an attempt to change the judicial system in Israel. I'm sure that you heard about it because there was like a lot of demonstrations for almost a year in Israel about the judicial system overall, right? You heard it. Part of this judicial, this fight between right and left in Israel about the judicial system was that the far right was trying to delegitimize the court system, which includes the prosecution, the courts, the Supreme Court, and everything, okay? Because basically the judicial system, the reform was about kind of making them weaker and making the government stronger. So they kind of made the prosecution in Israel as like the enemy of the state. So whenever there's someone that is being prosecuted internally, then it's basically, it's a leftist thing and it's a bad thing. So when this thing happened, where IDF soldiers that are fighting a war are being accused of a crime, those radical people, first of all, saw it as an opportunity to attack the military prosecution the same way they do with any other prosecution. They actually said the military prosecution should not be prosecuting soldiers, which is a very idiotic thing to say because the whole purpose of the military prosecution is to prosecute only soldiers.
Really
so that is part of it. I'm sorry, what?
I said, yeah, that's funny. That's why there's a military court to fucking investigate the military and everything.
Exactly. So exactly, this is exactly the reason. And both the judicial system in Israel and the military judicial system are both independent. The chief of staff of the army, the only, I don't know what is the translation of the rank, but the only high officer that he doesn't appoint himself is the head of the military courts, because he needs to be independent. Same goes with the Israeli court. So this is the context that I think you're missing. It's not about rape that they were doing. They were actually having a problem with prosecuting soldiers during war. And I don't agree with you. I don't agree with them, but this is like the context that I think you're missing. No one is supporting rape. I know that this is how it was translated for a lot of pro-Palestinian spaces that they saw those images because they don't really understand and they see things as black and white. It was not about pro-rape. It was just about kind of like, and I'm putting it in air quotes, defending soldiers. What I think is that those prosecutions are actually supporting soldiers, and what you did see are the many IDF soldiers that are saying, no, we want those prosecutions because this is what protects us. If we don't have those prosecutions, then you can say every IDF soldier is a rapist. So we are very supportive of those investigations. And you don't need to listen to a few radicals, even if it's 100 people out of a population of 9 million. Again, Israel is democracy, we have freedom of speech. You will find people supporting anything, okay? Anything. It doesn't mean that this is the majority.
Okay.
And also, even if, hold on, the last thing, even if a parliament member says something, I can give you like a gazillion examples from American lawmakers that are saying bullshit, but or like Congress people or whatever. It doesn't mean that they can change nothing. This is not the way you change the law by the fact that one person out of 120 says something. Okay? This is not the way that it works in democracy.
Okay, Daniel, you're so fucking good at this. I will give you this. That.
Look, and this is listen, dude, I'm not doing for logic. Listen,
no, I understand. I believe you. I'm not saying you're lying.
I'm sure that you know. Let me just say one last thing because you said it twice. I know that you know the word Hasbara. Okay, the word Hasbara comes from it's a Hebrew word which means to explain. Okay, it's not propaganda and it's not like fake news. I am using a lot of critical thinking. I want to know the truth, even if it doesn't align with my narrative. Like this, I want to know if those soldiers are rapists or not, because if they are, they should be thrown to jail, and the IDF should teach everybody what needs to be done. I don't want to say, oh no, this could never happen. No, this is not my stand, and not the stand of Israelis. I care for the truth, and Asbara is to me to explain and to give you context, and then you can make your own decisions.
I love this. Bro, where are all the good Jews like you online? Anyways, I have a suggestion for you. Why are you not on Piers Morgan explaining all this? Because you're doing it very correctly. I mean, you know my stance that I'm 60% leaning towards Palestine all the time, but you're doing...
Give me time. You started with 90, you know? Give me time.
So, Pastor John, my question to you is, why are you doing any critical analysis? And why are you relying on Daniel to do what we're thinking for you?
Sorry, what?
Why are you not doing any critical analysis?
I can't
Why are you
hear
relying
you.
on Daniel?
What?
I can't hear you, I mean loud.
What?
He's asking why aren't you yourself doing any critical analysis on stuff before you come to like a conclusion
I
or
can
whatever?
tell you, exactly. So I can tell you why. So I'm not joking right now. What Daniel is doing is very critical. These two words in Hebrew he used, I don't know how to spell it, but this critical, because first of all, it's not my job. I'm neither Palestinian nor Jew. But I would love that people from both sides literally sit down and do these talks, because it gives you a perspective of how the fuck one should look at the issue, even as a radical person who has radical views, be it against or pro-Israel, against or pro-Palestine. If people literally sit down and give you the time and effort to explain in details how shit is going, you have to respect them. Okay. And when you respect,
to tell you, if you don't have time for critical analysis, I respect that, but then you shouldn't have an opinion. There's multiple conflicts going on around the world that I have no opinion on because I have not done the critical analysis. So when you say I'm 90% and you drop to 60%, but you have not yet done it because you're not Jewish or Palestinian, that's problematic. But the next thing I'll tell you is Jews all over the world, mostly Israelis, are ready to sit down and discuss it consistently. And if you notice, the Palestinians will consistently obfuscate, happens this from all the time. They jump to the next topic, they don't give you the time. And that the problem with Hezbollah is that it's an explanation. Explanation takes time, it takes patience, but the Jews are always willing to do it, sometimes too willing to do it. So if that's your question, it's only when the Palestinians are screaming, kill the Jews, that Jews will have that time to sit down and do this as well.
I accept the point.
And also, this is what we try to do in those rooms. We try to go actually deep. Many times when we have conversation, someone will give us like 16 points at a time, and this is not the way to do. If you want to talk, 40 beheaded babies, let's talk about this. Don't give me this as part of a list. Because if you care for the truth, then each point, if you want to say ethnic cleansing, let's talk about this. If you want to say student bombing, let's talk about this. Don't give me a list of accusations that I cannot answer you, because each one has a lot of nuances, and it's important to understand the nuances. And words, by the way, are very important. How much you're accurate in your definition. Not every war is a genocide, not every bombing is indiscriminate, and not every civilian is dead is a war crime. And if we cannot make everything either a black or white, then we are lying to ourselves. There's a lot of grays and there's a lot of nuances for people to understand if they really care.
I get it. You must be on Chris Morgan, bro. I'm not fucking joking.
Without better people than me.
No, bro, there's shit. I watch it every day, especially the Israeli side. Bro, if someone is like 90% pro-Israel and those two girls, especially the girls from the USA that speak with fucking American accent, blindly defending Israeli points all the time, you would turn 100% against Israel. They're shit.
Yeah. Daniel, I will say this, you're 1,000 times less cringe than Rabbi Shmuley.
Exactly, bro.
I don't know if that's not a really high bar, but thank you anyway.
No, that guy, he does a terrible job on Cruise.
Horrible shit.
So fucking cringy, dude. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
I've seen
Shmuley Bataf is really not good.
Yeah, no, I've seen a lot of people stand up for Israel that are not.
A lot of time, because he was friends with people here in my industry, so he spends a lot of time coming to our conferences and stuff. I just saw him at BB's speech. He was there. He's a character.
Yeah, I just think that for Jews, he's not the character that should be on talk shows talking about these serious things.
I don't disagree with you. He's a bit controversial.
He's a troller. He's a troller.
I don't disagree with you. I think that he wasn't that bad before. He's gotten crazy with social media and just kind of extreme. But I think he started out originally with good intention. He just kind of went off. And I absolutely don't disagree with you on it.
Yeah, I just think that now is not the time for antics. Now is the time for logical, objective thinking and trying to actually trying to solve these problems. And for Piers Morgan to bring him on time after time again, I think is actually irresponsible. I actually think that it's really bad for the Jewish community for him to be on there over and over again.
I mean, I guess
that he's actively harming it.
I don't disagree, but is it selling? I mean, is it there's
No, I understand that there's a selling point to it, and I understand that he's dramatic and he's theatrical or whatever. But there are so many better people to talk to in Jewish communities than Rabbi Shmuley at this point. And I just can't believe that that's his go-to when he wants a Jewish perspective.
The Fox has had some great people on, and they've diversified a lot of who they've been bringing on. And, I think they use Ari Fleischer a lot, and he's been excellent. Brooke Goldstein's been on there. I mean, they had a Orthodox rabbi on yesterday. He may be from LA, I'm not sure. He was superb, just kind of breaking down some of this stuff. I think they use some pretty good choices on who they have as spokesman. I absolutely don't disagree with you. But I think he used to be a lot more sensible than he's got.
I like Gaza. I mean, he's smart. He went to the other Joe Rogan, and he did a fantastic job defending, the Jewish community.
Who is it? Shiva?
Gaza. The Lebanese migrant to Canada.
Yeah,
he's a smart guy.
Escaped Lebanon by the Civil War. So
Yeah, I see.
Very close to what
I saw him 2-3 times. I saw him 2-3 times at a cafe in Montreal. He's always there.
He's smart.
Godfather is a little bit hit or miss. No, Godfather is a little bit hit or miss with his public statements, but I think he's overall a really good person to have a conversation with. When he's in conversation with people like Joe Rogan, or if he's having a serious conversation with people, he's really good. But then I feel like his posts on X and stuff like that can be a little bit cringy, and he does get pushed back on that. But that's my thought.
I mean, probably the best, but it's hard. They stretch themselves to the different networks. I mean, Dershowitz is amazing when they have him on. Fox uses him. I don't know if he's doing any CNN anymore. I have a feeling not, but he's one of the best. Like when they use him. But I have noticed that there's different voices that they're bringing on that they didn't use before. And after October 7th, they were rotating a lot of the same people because they had what's the guy? He's the general in Israel that was the spokesman. He grew up in Sweden. I'm blanking on his name. They were using him, and he was on like every network for so long. It's a long last name. Anyway, I feel like they've diversified a bit.
I think the
Cornelius. That sounds like it. Enriquez, thank you.
He's not from South America somewhere?
No, he grew up, actually, he was there once when we took a trip down to the border, and he took us through it. And it was a funny moment because he grew up in Sweden, believe it or not. And we were there, it was right before the Stanley Cup, so we were all Vegas people crazy about our team. And he told us he played ice hockey growing up and when he was in Sweden. No, I thought he was from somewhere else also. I wouldn't have made it to Scandinavia. Maybe the family originally came from somewhere else, but that's where he grew up.
You know this one super fucking hot clip that defends Israel on Piers Morgan?
Hello.
Hi, Leah. This is John. How are you?
Hi there. I'm good. I just got off work. I'm home now, so I'm doing great.
Oh, you're chilling now, huh?
Yes. What are you up to?
I'm packing a bowl. I'm sipping a little wine. I just gave my tenant a book who's leaving, and they're like, anyways, they should have left already, but I'm giving them a couple. They're moving out anyways, they're just moving. So they're turning the keys over, but they're dragging ass, and like I'm just gonna deduct it from their deposit. But I gave them a really good book. They're a couple, like, I don't know if they're a throuple or what goes on in the relationship, but like they have a kid, and I see some other guy at the place all the time, so it's like, I think the girl, like, I think she's got like another, I don't know.
A little bit of polyamory?
Maybe, I'm not so sure.
There. I mean, it takes a fucking village.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying I have no idea, to tell you the truth. I mean.
That's fair. Okay, so I'd be down to grab a drink at a stereo. I'm not drinking at the moment, but there's a ton of stuff around here where we could walk from my place to a stereo if we wanted, or there's like other things like an arcade bar and things like that.
You're not drinking alcohol?
No.
Or smoking weed?
Situationally.
Because I mean, I smoke weed and I drink. I mean, I'm not like an alcoholic.
No, I don't mind if other people do, or like I can go out and go to like out with people and they're drinking and I'm not. Like I do smoke, but I am like trying to cut down, so that's why I say situationally.
Well, I like to pair it with like events, like if I do a yoga class, go to the gym, or go to a concert. I mean, or do anything.
Yeah, I like to pair it with everything, so I have to like take my breaks and shit like that.
Oh yeah, that's important.
But no, I'm down to do that. We can meet up and then just figure out.
Yeah, but you don't drink, so we're not gonna go to a stereo. That'd be pointless.
No, it wouldn't. We can still talk and vibe.
I gotta admit, I can't remember what you look like. I didn't like save your picture with your telephone number, but I did save your number.
Do you not have all
the match?
The photos? Yeah, what?
No, I'm saying I don't know what you look like.
Okay.
Yeah, Yeah, text me a picture and refresh my memory. I mean, once I see your picture, I'll remember you. But I can't, I tried to look through my phone. I couldn't find how we matched.
Did you ever delete our conversations? You can, if you did, it's fine.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
in text.
Yeah.
So you don't have anything saved.
No, I sometimes I just clear up my entire messaging.
Fair enough.
So my memory. I mean, if we exchanged previous text, I mean, I'm sure we did, but like I can't remember what they are.
Yeah, I got you.
I mean, I'm sure you're beautiful. I wouldn't have saved your number, like, if I didn't think you were worthy to go out on a date or, you know, an interesting person.
So when we had first started talking, I kind of had hair, but then I shaved it.
You're bald now?
Yeah, I'm bald, like Mr. Clean.
Oh, damn, I'll bring you a blonde wig. I'm bald too. I got another blonde wig for me.
Thanks. I love that for us.
Yeah, text me a picture of your bald head so I can see your pretty face.
I'm texting you right now. I still haven't changed out of my work clothes.
Yeah, well,
So,
take a shower, do some yoga, smoke some weed, and say namaste 1,000 times, and say om 1,000 times.
Let's do it together. Let's do that together.
Well, we could do yoga by the by the Logan Square obelisk there, or the statue, the giant.
Yeah, we could. We really could.
Yeah, we could do yoga there.
Okay, sorry. Okay, I think it's that. I want to see your reaction real time.
I don't know if it's gonna come through. I feel like sometimes it doesn't come through unless you're off the call.
Damn it.
Are you Apple? Yeah, you must be Apple.
Yes.
I'm Android.
Yeah, with the green bubbles.
How old are you?
I'm gonna be 25 at the end of August.
Where are you from?
When people ask me that question, it's kind of complicated for me because I was a military brat, so I moved all over. But where I was last pretty permanently with my parents a while ago was northern suburbs of Chicago. So like it's called Wakanda.
You're from Wakanda?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, not like it's a place in Illinois.
Oh, I thought it was like a real place in Africa or something.
No, that's not real. Wakanda's not real. Wakanda, WAUCONDA in Illinois is real, but not in Africa.
Got it. Well, I knew a king from the kingdom of Ashkanda, and he gave me an N card pass.
Okay.
His name is Ish.
Who is this again?
He's a friend of mine. His name is Ish. He's from Baltimore.
I don't say.
But I created a song about him. It's called Broke N-Word Ish, and it became very popular.
Oh wow. Let me hear this song.
So it's like a mantra. You just say broke, N-word ish, and then you just like jumble it all up, and you just repeat, and that's the song.
Oh, okay. And you made it?
Yeah, and it got really popular on this app for a second. People thought it was hilarious.
Okay.
Cause he's a big speaker on that app, and so, anyways, it was totally random. Some older woman created a room about him, and she called it broke N-word ish, and then I just went in there and I started rapping it and jumbling it, and it like seems to work very good.
Okay. So you rap, that's what you're saying?
No, I don't really. It's kind of a joke, but you know, it worked out quite well. You know,
Okay.
I like music, so like I think it would be fun to like try to create more music in the future.
Yeah, I agree. I love music. I can talk about it for days.
Well, people like to go to music. I'm like pretty much over going to like big events. Like I would never go back to Lala. Like I saw these really hot chicks that I was like,
Me
no way.
neither. I went 4 days one year and I was like, and that was the end of it.
Damn, that's like, damn, you should be paid to go there for 4 days.
Yeah, it's fucking brutal, but it was like one and done. I'm never gonna do it again, I don't think. Unless I was like a fucking millionaire and I could fucking make it the smoothest, most awesome process ever.
Yeah, that would be dope. I guess that would be true for everything. Like if you don't
Like,
actually.
I would go to Coachella if I like, you know, had racks on racks and I could like get a private little fucking room and shit and afford all that.
I don't know. To tell you the truth, at this point, like, and you see how ridiculous, like how some of these celebrities are so rich, and I'm just like because they've had like major hit songs, you know. I don't know. It's just it blows my mind how people make money from music and how people keep consuming music but never create their own music. I'm just like one of those people who like doesn't watch TV. I would rather try to create a YouTube channel.
Oh, I love YouTube. I don't usually watch TV. I'm usually always watching YouTube.
Yeah, so I have like all these phones and I am filming basically a show based off of this app, and it's a social audio chat app. It's like Twitter Spaces, but I've been recording all these people for years and putting it on YouTube. And today was like kind of a big day because I had a live stream and like 1,100 people were watching it, which was kind of exciting.
What? Okay, go off, Mr. Media.
Yeah, I'm a spammer. Like, we can spam our way to riches. Spam is spelled with a $, baby.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, well, I mean, it's 5:16. I mean, if you want me to go down to Logan Square, it's going to take me like 30 minutes to get there.
Okay. I'm not.
You want me to leave right now?
I mean, yeah, if you want.
How about we meet at 6-ish?
Okay. You want to meet at my place and just park around here, and then we can decide what to do?
Yeah, that's fine.
Cool.
All right, just text me your address.
Okie dokie.
Okay, see you soon.
Bye.
Okay, bye. I don't even know what she looks like. Should I even go? I'm thinking I'll just cancel on her. I'm probably the worst person in the world because, like, I'm really enjoying saying no to people all the time and disappointing people. It's becoming kind of ridiculous. I canceled on this really hot flight attendant because she didn't want me to pick her up. I'm like Jerry Seinfeld, where I'm totally microanalyzing all this stuff.
Daniel, what do you think about Trump's assassination? I'm very curious about knowing what is your opinion about it.
Well, again, like, what kind of an opinion I should have about it? Like,
I have no idea. I just really want to know what you think about it. Like, do you think he should have died, or is it good that he didn't? Or
no, I don't think that you should have died. I think it's very dramatic that we have it, and the only thing that I think about this, that if it would be any other time in history, this would be like a major thing. We cannot brush it off because in the same week we had also Biden resigning, and I don't remember what else we had. We are living in such a, I wouldn't say exciting time, but for lack of a better word.
End of times.
I don't know, there's so much going on every day that an assassination attempt of the United States, like, former president is kind of being, like, it's not even, I don't know, it's weird the times that we're living in. Because I think if it would happen like 4 years ago, we would be obsessed with it for weeks.
For years.
I think the world has changed after COVID. You know, after COVID, I don't see anything normal happening anymore. You know, people crazy, not coming to work, working remotely, economic situation terrible, wars.
Wait and see what will happen with the economy next, bro. We just started.
Yeah, Intel just laid off 15% of people.
Intel, everything, bro.
I think
Crazy.
the work from home is just a natural evolution.
Bro, America is adding 60 billion per day in the debt. Do you know what this means? Like, I always use this as a weapon against the Jews. I'm like, you only exist because America is bankrolling you. Bro, America is adding, that's a bad thing to say because they're gonna use that against everyone. But bro, they can argue that America is literally right now don't know, every single week, 5 times more money than they ever gave to Israel, which is hilarious. Bro, they're adding like 250 billion per week or per month or something like that. That's beyond insane.
27 minus 38.
Can we kick Mr. God in the chat? I mean, read the stuff that he's writing. Killyism, come on, I will fuck you ass.
Wait, is Mr. Guard still in the room?
Yeah.
Writing that shit? That's hilarious.
For like 2 fucking hours, this guy.
No, I vote to keep him so that he wastes our time in the chat and he doesn't waste other people in real life. So let him just do it.
Daniel, what do you think about the assassination, Ismail Haniya? Do you agree what I would say it was a huge mistake?
Why was it a huge mistake?
Why would you, bro, that's very terrible way of killing
No,
someone.
I'm trying to understand your point of view first. Like you said, it's a mistake because
you bombed his bed, bro. That's like horrible thing to do.
I mean, you don't even know if they bombed his bed. They might have bombed his toilet. Like,
they're saying, don't joke, that's bad. They're saying that there was a bomb that put 2 months ago under his bed where he normally sleeps when he goes to Iran, and it's actually a military compound with high security.
Which source said it was under the bed? Please post the link that shows the source that said it was specifically under the bed.
No, because they're also saying it was 2 p.m. at midnight and he was asleep when it happened.
Okay, so.
But so I think it's great, like, dying in your sleep, I think it's something we all
That's one side that I was like, at least I don't know if, it's horrible, bro, I don't want to joke about it.
Would they not check with him before the guy went to sleep? I mean, come on, he's like one of the most.
Well, they check it before you arrive. They don't check it every time.
if he was sleeping,
Hold on, I want to address Postage. You talked about U.S. debt. Do you know who owns U.S. debt?
America.
Who owns 70% of the U.S. government debt?
China, I would say. America.
China. Yeah, U.S. investors is 32.5, approximately, from memory. The Federal Reserve holds about 10%, and the government itself owns another 30%. So it leaves foreign investors for approximately 30%. So it's
but that's
not what you think it is. It's not what you
think.
No,
I know exactly what it is. It's not good news, bro, because if the economy bro, look, for the second, I'm not against America. I literally enjoy the blessings of the United States of America, even though I never set a foot in America ever before. What I'm saying is, and I know if America gets fucked, the entire Western civilization and Christianity will get fucked, even though right now the West is no longer Christian, but rather so-called pseudo-liberal. But I'm not arguing that it's good news. I'm arguing it's horrible news, even though if Americans own the debt, it's horrible because if the collapse happens and everyone ditches the dollar, bro, even though America fucks up and always puts sanctions on the entire fucking planet, which is very bad and horrible, but if everyone ditches the dollar, that's very bad news for the West. And that will happen the second the collapse coming. Collapse is coming. Bro, the United States of America has over $500 billion unrealized losses in real estate, in commercial real estate. American families has over $1 trillion in student debt and over $4 to $6 trillion in credit cards. It will collapse. There's no. America is paying 86% of the collected taxes last month went to only interest rate on American debt. Only interest rate. I studied finance in American college. That's my word. I'm not arguing it should happen. It will happen. It's horrible. I'm just waiting. And if everyone thinks right now is bad, wait and see, bro. And you're gonna remember, mark my word, and remember everything will be much worse.
Okay, a small commercial break. We're having those rooms almost every day on different topics that are happening today or that someone brings up. So I invite whoever is not part of the house to click the Make Awareness Great Again at the top and join so you can see. And also, because we are trying to go deep into subjects, so we have like a Telegram channel where we have like different threads where we kind of post things. If anyone post something during the chat, like during the conversation in the chat, so we try and take it there so you can have the resources later, because once we close the chat, everything is gone. And we share things that we find interesting or that we read. Sometimes before we have a room about them, so you can also see what we're going to talk about. If anyone is interested, there is the link also at the top to the Telegram channel. Commercial is over.
Wow, that was a great commercial. So
This is why
I love him. I love
the
him.
guy is a great public speaker. He's one of
And
the
by
best
the way,
speakers.
the Telegram group is very well moderated. You cannot even, now we reach like 100 something, so now you cannot see, we were able to hide all the members, so your privacy is protected. And also, nobody can screenshot or forward any content. And I did this precisely so that no drama is started, so.
That's so amazing. It's so amazing that it has the no screenshot. I'm still trying to figure out how it does that.
Yeah, you cannot screenshot anything. It will do a black
I thought it was my phone was broken.
Yeah, Telegram is one of the best.
I'm sharing one
of them.
Yeah, you can't, I'm sorry.
I just joined.
Isn't there a way to download something though? Can't you
No.
download an image?
You cannot download, you cannot forward, you cannot screenshot. It's a for your eyes only group.
It's for consumption, it's for yourself, it's like to make you more aware and to go into depth. And if you want to share it, you can just invite someone to the channel and tell them like, hey, have a look.
How the fuck
You know,
what you can do.
I've seen so much shit going on Telegram groups, and I don't like Telegram groups. But in the end, we did this just because of the amount of information, you know.
Yeah.
But this is how people start the shit all the time. They take screenshots and then they share private conversations and stuff like that. So
They can still take screenshots. It just makes it more difficult.
How? With
With
another
a second phone. With another phone.
Yeah, well.
A shot of a screen.
Yeah, but the quality won't be.
Yeah. It's, to be honest, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
No, it's just like some of the memes are priceless. Like I want to send them to friends, but I can't. Oh, I get it. I understand. I'm not complaining. I'm just like,
I know. They're really good memes. I agree. I was trying to do it the other day, like get one of those, and I couldn't.
I tried sharing the one that Alex sent.
Which one was the one that else?
The one with the legs spread out.
Oh,
you can't see mine, Simon. I deleted mine because it was too hardcore. Let me send it to you.
This was hardcore.
Yeah, I wonder what the difference between the corn is of both of them. They were both pretty poor.
I never saw
A quarry. We have a quarry on the stage. It's close.
Which one was ready?
I'll send it to you, like, 1 second.
Isa, are you paid by the Mossad agents?
Am I what?
Are you paid?
Just because she.
Of course. Are there any doubts about that?
Yeah. We're behind, Al. You'll get your monthly stipend shortly. You'll get your stipend. Don't
I
worry.
receive shekels every week.
Al gets her payments in cases of kosher wine.
Yeah, I want to sign up for the boy program.
The boy program. Yeah.
But Billy is the accountant. Billy, did you send me the shekels this week?
If you didn't get your payment, you need to speak to accounting. I don't know what's wrong.
Yeah, Billy's accounting. Billy's in charge of the payment.
And El, do me a favor, when you get your paycheck, please buy a new microphone because.
No, that's not Israeli technology. You're like Chinese technology.
Yeah, your microphone is
Yeah.
dead, Al.
Jacob,
Yeah.
you're gonna call today?
Yeah, my question is, remember that video I sent you where Trump said you won't have to vote again?
Yes.
Is there a way in that any way positive? Like, was he meaning like once we go conservative, we're not gonna go back? Like, I'm still
No.
trying
You
to
have
figure
to
that.
listen. You have to listen to 2 minutes prior to what he's talking about. So
I
the
get it.
Christians Christian faction within the Republican Party is known for being kind of lazy when it comes to voting.
Yeah.
You know, and so what he was trying to do, he was like, say, hey guys, you know, just get out this one time, and then it's going to be so good, you don't have to
Do it again, that's what I said, yeah. But the problem is, don't his speechwriters, or if he's doing it off the cuff, haven't someone trained him well enough to know that the power of editing, like,
Yeah,
there's gonna be editing.
exactly.
To train Trump? How can you train Trump?
You know, you think for self-survival, you know.
Listen,
But no
this
one
is
will
his
train Trump,
wife's
and he
number
knows.
3, he's untrainable.
So here's the thing, trust me, there's been several times where I've heard him and I'm just like, what the hell did you just say, you know? And one of them was that, when he said that. Anybody listening knows what he meant, is when we look at the number of votes, the number of registered voters, right? And then we hear a number that's 60 or 70 some percent, 70% went out. When you do the numbers of registered voters, and the turnout was 80 some million and whatever, you know, Trump had, you're at like a 97% voter turnout, which, let's be real, I don't care if you want to say there was cheating last time or not. That'd be unprecedented.
North Korean levels, that's North Korean levels.
So we just got to have a little bit of logic. So what he's really saying is, you're right, and I knew that, you know that, but the first thing I can think of is the left is going to run with this, and it's not unfortunately, common sense and logic is a rare thing anymore. And we've got a ton of people who are, the active measures work on them. The media just pounds the story. And once it's pounded enough, you can't unhear it. I was just in one of the other rooms, and I can only be in that room for about 10 minutes because I'm going to call it the ideologically subverged. And you can show them the facts, and you could show them from a liberal source, and they're still wrong. And that's exactly what ideological subversion is. This guy, but and one of you guys was just about to say it, somebody's got to get to him and say, listen, this isn't a battle about your base. They're there for you. Yeah. You got to start winning the moderates because right now, I'm going to be honest with you, it's a short run and you have the honeymoon session. And yes, that eventually ends, but is it long enough for the honeymoon session to end? Under 100 days. And so you've got to start picking away at those. And I love the brashness of some of what he does, and it shows that he's got the balls. On that same stage, somebody brought it up that, okay, here's the real polls. How does it fare? Trump versus Harris on the economy. Trump, and I don't remember the exact numbers, I'm kind of just going to throw them out there, but it was like 6 points, Trump. How does it fare on the border? The polls show 7 points, Trump. How does it fare for economy? 6 points, Trump. How does it fare for Russia? 7 points, Trump. And when you look at it, on each individual topic that they were polled, hands down, everybody believed that Trump would be better. But when they get told that it's time to vote, Harris is either dead even with him or in some polls above. And it's like, he's got to slow down and just watch his mouth, be a little less divisive. Otherwise, he's going to cost himself this.
Yeah. Did you guys see the interview with the black media?
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I laughed so much. I enjoyed it so much, but yeah, I mean, a lot of people took it. It doesn't matter, but I was laughing so much.
But she wants to be black.
Yeah.
Black. She wants to be black.
A couple clips. Can somebody give me a rundown, just like a quick summary of what happened? The only one that I saw was where she asked him, he was talking about abortion, and he was talking about it late, and she goes, "You're a liar. That's no state allows that." I was in that other room, and I posted the tag that there's 7 of them. There's six without limitations. And DC, and of course they were saying that was a lie, but it's the law. But go.
So he arrives, and immediately, I mean, there are 3 reporters, one from Fox, one from CNBC, and another one. So the CNBC one was the one starting, right? And she goes hard at him, like, okay, let's address the elephant in the room. Like, you're very abrasive, and you have seen this, and you have said this, and you have said this. And he goes like, oh,
It was accusatory, yeah, it was very accusatory the way she...
It was difficult, but he can take it. He's a big boy.
No, but he goes, hold on, and he goes.
He had called members of that.
And he goes to say like, oh, well, thank you very much for saying hello. What a rude way of asking this question. I have never been asked this question in such a rude manner. And well, the girl is trying to redirect him. And he just goes on and says, well, and on top of that, I gotta say, like, you are so rude that you made me wait 35 minutes to start the interview. You were late. Like, oh my God, like, what is this? You know, well, anyway, then they kept on going on other topics. Then he was asked about Kamala Harris, whether he thought she was a DEI hire. And he said, well, I don't know if she's a DEI hire, but what is she? You know, like she was Indian some years ago, and then she turned black.
That was
racist. To be black.
That was
racist. To be black.
That was super racist from him.
I don't care, but he's right because
no, he's not right. He's a liar.
I don't care.
She's
no.
not.
Anyway, I don't care.
I'm with these.
Oh, you want to go back to the audience?
Yes.
No, he was lying.
What do you mean he was lying?
She said it. It was fact, dude.
It's true.
It's true, dude.
I will tell you. Give me 2 seconds.
No,
okay? You don't even get a second.
We don't need it.
Two.
We know what we're talking about. I have seen Kamala Harris say she's Indian, and then now she's
Wait.
I'm not gonna wait for anything. Anyway,
not all blacks are African. You're forgetting that.
Okay, Post-John, we're going to move you to the... Somebody already did that.
What else?
She definitely said she was Indian. I watched her.
Yeah.
Come here. Come here.
Elle, can you
up there?
Elle, can you try just to do the three dots and lower the volume, because it sounds like it's not necessarily your microphone.
No, it's not. I'm in a really bad area. We don't have power at my house. I'm at my cabin, and it's a bad reception area. We had a bad storm.
Okay, then lower the quality of your volume, and then it will improve your bandwidth usage. Anyway, so what was another thing that he was told? I don't know, but it was a couple of things like that where he. Oh yeah, then the Fox lady, she was the one the furthest, and he couldn't hear her. And when Jacob is in the audience, he must have swiped. Anyway, and he couldn't hear her. And it's like, oh, I'm sorry, I cannot hear you. This sound is so bad. So she made me wait for 35 minutes and she couldn't even get the sound right. She said, of course, she has got the best sound of all of us. But
all right, I'm going to restart this.
You're throwing so many points at that.
Do you know